So if we look at chapter 10, straight lines, and then we need to look at equation of the line. So here we have parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So lines, equation of a line always looks like this. Y is equals to mx plus c. Okay, so m is the gradient. So if you know this one here from the previous question, so m is considered to be your gradient. Gradient means that how steep your graph is. If it is a positive, then you'll be going up. If it's a negative, then it'll be going down. So this one here, the red color one is a negative graph. The black color one here is a positive gradient graph. Doesn't matter whether the C here is positive or negative. This C is where it cuts the y-axis. Like here, it cuts at 2, so it's plus 2. And here it cuts at negative 4, so it's minus 4 here. This doesn't determine whether the graph is going up or not. It only determines where does the graph cut on the y-axis. So it is negative 4, positive 2, positive 2. So when we learn about parallel and perpendicular line, they have something similar. Both will be affected by the gradient. So if I draw a line, let's say if I, let me change my color. If I draw a line here that is exactly the same as this line, and I move it here, you will notice that it will have the same gradient because gradient is the steepness of the graph. So this graph here will be, let's say it cuts through number 4 here. So this graph here will be y is equals to 3x plus 4 because it cuts through number 4. It will have the same gradient, 3 and 3. So this m here, which is this number 3, is the same. Similar to this line here, if I change my color to blue, I use this line and I were to take this line and put it somewhere here. This line will be equal to y is equals to negative 1 over 3 minus 4 over 3x minus 4. So you can see that they have exactly the same gradient. So this one and this one is what we call parallel lines. They will never meet, but they have the same gradient. Okay, so next we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines is different. Perpendicular line is like a complete opposite. This is going up, this is going down. But you see the gradient here, they are not like this is positive 3, this is negative 3. There's something different here. So we have a formula to calculate the gradient for perpendicular line. Gradient for perpendicular line is the first gradient multiplied by the other gradient is equals to negative 1. So if I have a line, let's say a line that looks like this, and I tell you that this is y is equals to 2x plus 2, and if I want a perpendicular line that cuts through it, what is the gradient? Let's say if I have another line here, perpendicular to this line. So what I have to do is I have to take this gradient here. So this gradient here is 2. So I have to take m1 is equals to 2. m2, which is the gradient for my perpendicular line, is equals to I don't know. But we have a formula. The first gradient multiplied by the second gradient is equals to negative 1. Okay. So I don't think this is 2. I'll just change this to, let's say, half. Change this to half. Then the first gradient is half. The second gradient is I don't know. So the first gradient, I know, and I know the formula, so I can use this formula to find my second gradient. So first gradient is half multiplied by second gradient is don't know, is equals to negative 1. So don't know is equals to negative 1 divided by half. So don't know is equals to negative 2. So now I found out what is my second gradient for my perpendicular line, negative 2. And then I need to see where I want to know the equation of this line. Then I can see, oh, the y-intercept is at 4. So I can safely say that it is y is equals to negative 2x plus 4. Okay.